Welcome to the Boujee Multipreneur podcast. I'm your host, Hillary Hushower-Jones. Tune into my show where we discuss how to attract more money so you can spend more money. Hi, welcome back to another episode of my podcast, the Boujee Multipreneur. I'm your host, Hillary. So happy that we can be here today and that you're listening to podcasts. If you've been listening since the start of the year with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I got to say, podcasting is not for the faint at heart. This is it is difficult, and I hope that if you guys have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. Happy to tell you about my journey. But I love doing these shorter podcasts. I hope that you do also. Again, I do the short podcasts because I have about a 15-minute drive to work on a long day. And so I just enjoy the short podcasts. I also sometimes tune out the longer podcasts. So if you're like me and you have 1,000 other things on your brain, sometimes the shorter podcasts are really key for me. What I want to talk about today is actually a little bit about employees. So if you own a business, maybe your ears will perk up a little bit about this. But as you know, I also do business coaching. It's called HHJ Consulting. It's because Hillary Hushower-Jones, that's the HHJ in case you wondered. But I have a lot of people ask me about employees, about hiring, training, firing for that matter. So I just have a few things I want to talk about. One of my biggest things that's really helped me over the years is the visualizing our next employee. So for my main chiropractic office, we literally write down what we want this new employee to do, and even down to sometimes what they look like. Like if it's a position where they're going to be doing a lot of exercises with patients, we want someone that's maybe more athletic and young and easier to move around, get down on their knees, hold planks, different things like that. So other than that, we don't really go off the looks of the person, but sometimes you go off what type of personality. So as you know, someone that is more of a front desk receptionist, they have different qualities than maybe an assistant would be, and different qualities than maybe like someone in your billing department or an HR. Those are just different personalities. So knowing the job, their roles, the responsibilities of that person, you can really find out what that personality needs to be. So write it down. I really love a list of our ideal employee for whatever position. Let's say it's a front desk receptionist. You know, we all know what they do, but here's the type of personality she might have, he or she. You know, for a front desk, I would want someone that is very social and bubbly and hi, great to see you. Come on in. Oh, you must be so-and-so. Maybe they introduce themselves. But also when it comes to maybe collecting a payment, they're like, yep, that's what you owe. Would you like to pay by cash, check, charge? You know, someone that really won't be wishy-washy with money, things like that. So again, look at the roles and responsibilities of that person. What type of personality goes best with that job description? So for instance, I don't like to hire introverts for my front desk. It doesn't really work out for me. I really try, but you have to be open and bubbly with these people. So sometimes my best front desk people are those that I've met even as a server or a bartender somewhere because they have such a great, open, bubbly, extrovert personality. So again, looking at the roles, responsibilities match up their personalities, but then also how are they going to interact with the rest of your staff? So we might say we want someone who watches Netflix series with us and that will interact with us about this or that, or who likes to read, or who has a dog, who likes to go on trips and travel. We want someone that is going to get along well with our core group. And currently at my one office, it's all female. So we need someone that's all going to get along together and who will contribute and, just really be a team player. And I've also found that, speaking of team player, those that have played on sports, they understand the team atmosphere. And so if they might put on their resume that they played club sports in college or something like that, I actually kind of love that. And I like it when people put things about themselves on their resumes. And you would think, oh, well, why would we need to know that? You can just learn a lot about themselves. Now, in the interview process itself, let's say you are the one doing all the interviewing. I tend to get away from like, well, what did you like about your last job? Or what didn't you like? Or explain to me a time where this or that. I kind of want to know the personality of them. And I might ask them about what they like to do, their hobbies, and watch how they perk up about something. Like if they perk up about like their dog, like I might ask more things about their dog, or I just go a little bit off the beaten path, if you will. And I don't always ask about like their last job or all their qualifications, because in the end, I can teach them pretty much everything at my office. What I can't teach is a good personality. I can't teach them to get along. I can't teach them a team atmosphere if they already don't do that. So really asking them like, did you play any sports when you were younger? Do you currently play any sports? Like, do you go out in groups of people? How many friends do you have in this area? I know it seems silly to ask that type of stuff, but within reason, I try to get to know them a little bit to see, are they checking off the boxes that we made of like our ideal candidate and our ideal employee or hire? How is their personality? Are they funny? Are they like bubbly? Like I like it when people like laugh in our interviews with me, or if I can poke fun at something a little bit and they think it's funny, because in my office, we're not a very like stiff office. We like to have fun. We joke around with people. My staff gives me a hard time all the time and I give it back to them. So I want someone I can go back and forth a little bit. And like we do silly things. We dress up as in themes for our office. Like I want someone that's also going to be like, sure, I'll dress up as a cowgirl with you guys. Like, getting to know like our culture at the office and making sure they're going to be a good fit. I got to say, most of the people that didn't work out for me are always because they didn't get along well with the team. And you can ask, hey, do you get along with teams, or how did you get along with your last, coworkers? And they always tell you what they, think you want to hear. They're not going to say like, I hated all the people I worked with and I didn't talk to them. I mean, that's not really going to happen. So you're really going to have to pull out, oh, what did you do after work? Did you hang out with the coworkers after work? Did you guys go to lunch together? Like, did you guys have any team lunches? Did you do any team outings? Like, really try to dig in and see if you can figure out a little bit more about these people before you hire them. Because if you're like me, you've definitely hired and then realized this person is not at all who I interviewed, right? It's like a month in-ish is what I noticed. And I'm like, you are not who was in that room with me when we interviewed. So you really have to do like your best due diligence in the first couple interviews to understand them. And I do feel like I also do like the first interview on the phone, but to be honest, that may not be the best like view of them. So even if I didn't have the great like phone interview, I sometimes still bring him in for the second like in-person interview, because we don't know where they were. They could have been like dealing with some annoying kid or spouse, or they could have been in their car and they maybe weren't giving their full attention. I also like to look and see what they wear to their first in-person interview, because in my office, let's say it was a front desk receptionist position, I want them to look nice and put together, not like they rolled out of bed. And so I found, and maybe you guys agree with me, that they show you in their first interview the best they're ever going to look, right? They may or may not ever look as good as that again, but are you willing to accept like this is the best they're ever going to look? And to be honest, I have like not brought people back for another interview because they didn't look like they put any effort into it. And if you're going to be the face of me in the community, and the first thing that someone walks into the door and you just have like a t-shirt on and jeans, like, granted, we're going to provide our employees with like scrubs and tops and bottoms and all that stuff, so we all look uniform. But I mean, if they can't even look nice to come in for an interview, I'm just like, meh, maybe next, maybe pass. To me, that's like a non-negotiable for that type of position. Granted, if they're working in the back office, no one ever sees them, I could probably not care as much. So again, going back to like, this is why you need a list of their roles, responsibilities, and their personalities that you want for that specific role. Making sure it aligns with like the culture that you already have established in your business with your current team, and then get their input too. Have you asked your current team like who they want, right? What if everyone's a strong type A personality? You probably don't want another strong type A personality in there. I'm sure that if you have noticed that it has happened to you, you're smiling right now because it doesn't always work out. You can't have so many alphas in the position. You need to like vary it a little bit. So knowing also who's already in your positions in your office and their personality types, that can help you pick like your next employee that's actually going to fit and work well. I know a lot of people do the personality tests, and I've done those too. And sometimes those are accurate and sometimes they help and sometimes they don't. So if you like it, keep doing it. If it works great for you, if you've never done it, maybe you want to try it. I can't say like I've noticed a huge difference doing the personality tests with employees and, interviewing processes. But again, every office is different. Every business is different, but it's always worth a shot, right? Making sure to like, once you've brought them on board, maybe you can do like a working interview, so to speak. Have them really come in at your busy times to make sure this is what they want. Have them like meet with all the individual staff that you already have. Maybe you all go out for lunch, or in past times, if I can't take everyone out to lunch, sometimes we do like a little like potluck, or I just cater in lunch so we can try to get to know them a little bit better. And so they can get to know us and our personality too. Like I feel like my main chiropractic office has a strong personality there, and we like to have fun. We're like, go, 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 break, have fun, go, 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 go. And that's normal for us. So making sure that it's going to be a good fit on both ends. Like they were going to like how we do things, and we're going to like how they act when we're having fun. And then the training, make sure you get a lot of training. What I've noticed from the people that I coach and their businesses, and also mine also, is that it's all about how much time and effort you put into training. And if you are too busy now to do the training, then you're probably going to have to do training like on the weekends or after hours. Like you can't throw people in positions and expect them to exceed and excel if you haven't given them proper training. So proper training might be a month, it might be 3 months. So don't have high hopes and expectations that you want them just to learn the position on their own, because I've also found that doesn't always work out. It's hard to find that diamond in the rough that can jump in, learn everything, and you're going to be fully satisfied. So a lot time for training. Maybe that means you have longer lunch breaks that you train them in the whole time. Maybe you have to adjust your hours accordingly if you're super busy and you don't have time. Things might have to change, but don't not give them the time that they deserve to learn for training. One thing that I do as a business coach is I offer training to the people that I coach and their staff. So a lot of my coaching clients, I might do a call with them one week, and the next week it's actually one of their staff. Maybe it's their office manager. Maybe if it's a chiropractor, it's their associate chiropractor that works for them. And that's okay, because you're paying someone to do the training for you. And it's still better than you not doing it at all, right? I'm not saying you have to pay someone to do your training, but the point is you need to invest the time and effort into doing appropriate training. And I've been down that road before. And I also agree that it doesn't work when you don't put in the effort to do the training. So as far as like retention for employees, people ask me, well, you've had a great office manager for years. How do you keep them, right? One thing that I started years ago is that I do quarterly kind of like reviews, but positive ways reviews. Like, here are the great things you're working on. Here are some things we still need to work on. That way they know and you know where they are, and they know what they need to do to maybe even earn a raise or earn a different position. So giving them like positive feedback, critique if needed, of course, but the positive feedback of what's going great, what you would like to see some more effort. Maybe they don't know that you are frustrated that they come in, a few minutes late every single day. And instead of letting things like that build up, it's all about the communication, right? It's the communicating with people in whatever setting it is, your home life, your work life, your friendships, your family. The communication's key, right? So I find that when I bring on a new hire, I like to do 30, 60, 90, 120, and then I try to do more like quarterly, like reviews and check-ins. And even if it's someone that's been with me for years, yes, have I forgotten a quarterly check-in? But I'm going to do at least a half year mark. I don't let it go too long, even if I have nothing to critique because they're doing wonderful. Great. At least you've acknowledged that. And for me, I'm of that personality that I personally don't need any positive acknowledgement from people around me. And so I forget to do it to them. And this is a great opportunity for me to like pat their back, so to speak, and give them like actually tell them all the things I think about how great they are in the office. But maybe I just forget to do it on a daily basis, weekly, monthly basis. So I kind of know that I have certain employees that I need to be more like lighthearted with, and they enjoy the positive feedback and the pat on the back and the verbal affirmation that they're doing a wonderful job and I appreciate everything they're doing. So I use that time to give that out too. And that's just something that I have to work on, and I have to make it more of a conscious effort because I never really needed it myself. And I just forget, right? If you're like that and you aren't giving out those positive affirmations to people and how great they are at your office, then, now's the time to think about adding that in. So make sure that you're bringing in the right person for the job. Have your checklist. You could even go into what they look like. I mean, if you're all office of brunettes and you want a fun blonde in there or a redhead, then put that in there, because the more that you have this vision of who you want in your office, the more it will come to you. Like tell the universe, this is what you want. This is who you need. And then make efforts to get that person. Place the ads, tell people you're looking, start looking around when you're at other places. And maybe someone is not happy as a server at the restaurant you go to, and you saying, you know what, your attitude and positivity is wonderful. Have you ever thought about working at a front desk? Because my chiropractic office is hiring and I think you would be a great fit. Here's our card. Always be looking, because you never know where you are. Even if someone seems really happy in their job, they may not like that for whatever reason. And it's not bad to quote poach from a different business. It's okay. You really want people, we're in the people business. We want everyone to be happy and we want them to be in the job that they can flourish in. So make your checklists, be very thorough with your interviews, and then really make sure that they're the right fit for your company and culture, and train, and then review, and be positive with them. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions about the things that I can do as far as business coaching and training, please feel free to reach out to me. One of our upcoming episodes is going to actually be about franchises. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful day. Click subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, and let's make some money.